almost imperceptibly at approximately 17 milliseconds per 100 years. Although the rate at which it occurs is not perfectly uniform, this has the effect of lengthening our days, but it happens so slowly that it could be as much as 140 million years before the length of a day will have increased to 25 hours. The Earth was once believed to be the center of the universe due to the apparent movements of the sun and planets in relation to their viewpoint. Ancient scientists insisted that the Earth remained static while other celestial bodies traveled in circular orbits around it. Eventually, the view that the sun was at the center of the universe was proposed by Copernicus, though this is also not the case. Earth has a powerful magnetic field. This phenomenon is caused by the nickel-iron core of the planet, coupled with its rapid rotation. This field protects the Earth from the effects of solar wind. There is only one natural satellite of the planet Earth. As a percentage of the size of the body it orbits, the Moon is the largest satellite of any planet in our solar system. In real terms, however, it is only the fifth largest natural satellite. Earth is the only planet not named after a god. The other 7 planets in our solar system are all named after Roman gods or goddesses, although only Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn were named during ancient times because they were visible to the naked eye. The Roman method of naming planets was retained after the discovery of Uranus and Neptune. When astronauts first went into space, they looked back at the Earth with human eyes for the first time and called our home the Blue Planet. And it's no surprise, 70% of our planet is covered with oceans. Facts about the planet Mars. Mars and Earth have approximately the same landmass, even though Mars is only 15% of the Earth's volume and just over 10% of the Earth's mass. Around 2/3 of the Earth's surface is covered in water. The gravity on Mars is only 37% of the Earth's, meaning you can jump 3 times higher on Mars. Mars is home to the tallest mountain in the solar system. Olympus Mons, a shield volcano, is 21 kilometers high and 600 kilometers in diameter. Despite having formed billions of years, Mars is home to the tallest mountain in the solar system. Olympus Mons, a shield volcano, is 21 kilometers high and 600 kilometers in diameter. Despite having formed over billions of years, evidence from volcanic lava flows is so recent many scientists believe it could still be active. Mars has the largest dust storms in the solar system. They can last for months and cover the entire planet. The seasons are extreme because its elliptical orbital path around the sun is more elongated than most other planets in the solar system. Pieces of Mars have fallen to Earth. Scientists have found tiny traces of Martian atmosphere within meteorites violently ejected from Mars, then orbiting the solar system amongst galactic debris for millions of years before crash landing on Earth. This allowed scientists to begin studying Mars prior to launching space missions. Mars takes its name from the Roman god of war. The ancient Greeks called the planet Ares after their god of war. The Romans then did likewise, associating the planet's blood-red color with Mars, their own god of war. Interestingly, other ancient cultures also focused on color. To China's astronomers, it was the fire star, whilst Egyptian priests called on Erdeshir, or the Red One. The red color Mars is known for is due to the rock and dust covering its surface being rich in iron. There are signs of liquid water on Mars. For years, Mars has been known to have water in the form of ice. The first signs of trickling water are dark stripes or stains on crater walls and cliffs seen in satellite images. Due to Mars's atmosphere, this water would have to be salty to prevent it from freezing or vaporizing. One day, Mars will have a ring. In the next 20 to 40 million years, Mars's largest moon, Phobos, will be torn apart by gravitational forces, leading to the creation of a ring that could last up to 100 million years. The gas giant. Jupiter has 67 moons and 4 rings. Jupiter is the fourth brightest object in the solar system. Only the Sun, Moon, and Venus are brighter. It is one of the 5 planets visible to the naked eye from Earth. The ancient Babylonians were the first to record their sightings of Jupiter. This was around the 7th or 8th century BC. Jupiter is named after the king of the Roman gods. To the Greeks, it represented Zeus, the god of thunder. The Mesopotamians saw Jupiter as the god Marduk and the patron of the city of Babylon. Germanic tribes saw this planet as Thor. Jupiter has the shortest day of all the planets. It turns on its axis once every 9 hours and 55 minutes. The rapid rotation flattens the planet slightly, giving it an oblate shape. Jupiter orbits the Sun once every 12 years. From our point of view on Earth, it appears to move slowly in the sky, taking months to move from one constellation to another. Jupiter has unique cloud features. The upper atmosphere of Jupiter is divided into cloud belts and zones. They are made primarily of ammonia crystals, sulfur, and mixtures of the two compounds. The Great Red Spot is a huge storm on Jupiter. It has raged for at least 350 Earth years. It is so large that 3 Earths could fit inside it. Jupiter has a thin ring system. Its rings are composed mainly of dust particles ejected from some of Jupiter's smaller worlds during impacts from incoming comets and asteroids. The next planet is Saturn. Saturn is the 6th planet from the Sun and the most distant that can be seen with the naked eye. It is best known for its ring system that was discovered in 1610 by the astronomer Galileo Galilei. Saturn can be seen with the naked eye. It is the 5th brightest object in the solar system and is also easily studied through binoculars or a small telescope. Saturn orbits the Sun once every 30 Earth years. Its slow movement against the backdrop of stars earned it the nickname of Lubagadush from the ancient Assyrians. The name means oldest of the old. Saturn has the most extensive rings in the solar system. The Saturnian rings are made mostly of chunks of ice and small amounts of carbonate dust. The rings stretch out more than 120,000 kilometers from the planet, but are amazingly thin, only about 20 meters thick. Saturn has about 150 moons and smaller moonlets. All are frozen worlds. The largest moons are Titan and Rhea. Enceladus appears to have an ocean below its frozen surface. Titan is a moon with a complex and dense nitrogen-rich atmosphere. It is composed mostly of water, ice, and rock. Its frozen surface has lakes of liquid methane and landscapes covered with frozen nitrogen. Planetary scientists consider Titan to be a possible harbor for life, but not Earth-like life. The next planet, Venus. Venus is the 2nd planet from the Sun and is the 2nd brightest object in the night sky after the Moon. Named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty, Venus is the 2nd largest terrestrial planet and is sometimes referred to as the Earth's sister planet due to their smaller size and mass. The surface of the planet is obscured by an opaque layer of clouds made up of sulfuric acid. One day on Venus lasts longer than a year. It takes 243 Earth days to rotate once on its axis. The planet's orbit around the Sun takes 225 Earth days, compared to the Earth's 365. Venus rotates in the opposite direction to most other planets. This means that Venus is rotating in the opposite direction to the Sun. This is also known as a retrograde rotation. A possible reason might be a collision in the past with an asteroid or other object that caused the planet to alter its rotational path. It also differs from most other planets in our solar system by having no natural satellites. Venus is the 2nd brightest object in the night sky. Only the Moon is brighter. Venus is so bright it can be seen during daytime on a clear day. Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. The average surface temperature is 462 degrees and causes a greenhouse effect. The next planet, Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, and due to its proximity, it is not easily seen except during twilight. For every 2 orbits of the Sun, Mercury completes 3 rotations about its axis, and up until 1965, it was thought that the same side of Mercury constantly faced the Sun. 13 times a century, Mercury can be observed from the Earth, passing across the face of the Sun in an event called a transit. The next will occur on the 9th of May in 2016. Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system. Mercury is the most cratered planet in the solar system. Unlike many other planets which self-heal through natural geological processes, the surface of Mercury is covered in craters. These are caused by numerous encounters with asteroids and comets. Most Mercurian craters are named after famous writers and artists. Mercury is named for the Roman messenger to the gods. The next planet, Neptune. Neptune is the 8th planet from the Sun, making it the most distant in the solar system. This gas giant planet may have formed much closer to the Sun in early solar system history before migrating to its present position. Neptune has 14 moons and 5 rings. Neptune was not known to the ancients. It is not visible to the naked eye and was first observed in 1846. Its position was determined using mathematical predictions. It was named after the Roman god of the sea. Neptune is the smallest of the ice giants. Despite being smaller than Uranus, Neptune has a greater mass. Below its heavy atmosphere, Uranus is made of layers of hydrogen, helium, and methane gas. They enclose a layer of water, ammonia, and methane ice. The inner core of the planet is made of rock. The atmosphere of Neptune is made of hydrogen and helium with some methane. The methane absorbs red light, which makes the planet appear a lovely blue. High, thin clouds drift in the upper atmosphere. Neptune has a very active climate. Large storms whirl through its upper atmosphere, and high-speed winds track around the planet at up to 600 meters per second. One of the largest storms ever seen was recorded in 1989. It was called the Great Dark Spot. It lasted about 5 years. Neptune has 14 moons. The most interesting moon is Triton, a frozen world that is spewing nitrogen ice and dust particles out from below its surface. It was likely captured by the gravitational pull of Neptune. It is probably the coldest world in the solar system. The next planet, Uranus. Uranus is the 7th planet from the Sun. It's not visible to the naked eye and became the first planet discovered with the use of a telescope. Uranus is tipped over on its side with an axial tilt of 98 degrees. It is often described as rolling around the Sun on its side. Uranus was officially discovered by Sir William Herschel in 1781. It is too dim to have been seen by the ancients. At first, Herschel thought it was a comet, but several years later it was confirmed as a planet. Herschel tried to have his discovery named Georgian Sidus, after King George III. The name Uranus was suggested by astronomer Johann Bode. The name comes from the ancient Greek deity Uranus. Uranus makes one trip around the Sun every 84 Earth years. During some parts of its orbit, one or the other of its poles point directly at the Sun and get about 42 years of direct sunlight. The rest of the time they are in darkness. Uranus is often referred to as an ice giant planet. Like the other gas giants, it has a hydrogen upper layer, which has a helium mixed in. Below that is an icy mantle which surrounds a rock and ice core. The upper atmosphere is made of water, ammonia, and the methane ice crystals that give the planet its pale blue color. Uranus hits the coldest temperatures of any planet, with minimum atmospheric temperature of negative 224 degrees Celsius. Uranus is nearly coldest planet in the solar system. While Neptune doesn't get as cold as Uranus, it is on average colder. The upper atmosphere of Uranus is covered by a methane haze, which hides the storms that take place in the